Hi, welcome to Mystic Moons. Let's take a trip. Let's take a trip to the White House. All right, the White House, Washington D.C. Washington D.C. is a strange place. Very strange place. A lot of things go down there. So today, everybody, Mystic Moon listeners, subscribers, thank you for joining. Newcomers, thank you for joining as well. Today, taking a trip to see if what our eyes see are really real, or maybe the difference between looking and seeing. Donald Trump, our president, has done a 360 or at least a 180 on many, many things. And you have to ask yourself, when you look at him, does it look like the same? You ever look at someone famous or someone who's photographed constantly, and you notice there's something different in this photograph, or you notice this is a healthy looking, day. This is a sleepy looking day. This is an unhealthy looking day. If you've been looking at Donald Trump's photographs lately, you've been noticing a variety of different looks. Sometimes his eyes seem close together. Sometimes his eyes seem saggy. I mean, just different. And then like his campaign, in 6 months he's been our president. And we've gone from no foreign wars to give them everything they want. Give Ukraine more bombs. Let's bomb Russia. Let's do this. Let's do that. Tariff wars, which started as our day of liberation, is more and more expensive to get every single thing at the stores for American buyers. So I don't really see all this liberation, even though we're told we're getting liberation. It just seems like things are more expensive. And then all these stories. We're going to find the Epstein. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Now, nothing to see here, nothing to see there. So, I mean, every single campaign promise, declaration is a complete turnaround. Hello, how are you? Don't you think that? Hi, Crystal. How are you? We're going to do a reading. Let's get on this psychic spaceship and let's go to DC and let's find out, are we seeing the real Donald Trump? I mean, there's been rumors that he's been effed off, he's been killed, he's been replaced. And we're going to ask the universe, the spirits, on this special trip we're going to take. Like, get in there and put your seatbelts and your psychic helmets on. And let's find out if Donald Trump has been replaced. Has he been replaced with a robot, a clone, one of those sleeves they make in the labs? Now, we all know they've been cloning mammals, cloning creatures, living creatures for 50 years or more. I mean, at least 50 years or more. And that's just the time they've been telling the population. So, of course, they've been doing it in the underground bases and the secret laboratories for much longer. Hello, how are you? Now, is Donald Trump the real Donald Trump? The real Donald Trump. Does the real Donald Trump exist? I mean, how can someone change in 6 months so much? And then you notice that his ankles are all swollen. He's got some sort of thrombosis of something or other. And then the man is almost 80 years old. He has an incredible pace, and he gets so involved in every single little issue. Not the ones that we would like to know, like what are the drones? Where do they come from? What is this so-called secret space program? Where are the jobs? And even the big beautiful bill. We're supposed to get more money back in taxes. However, the big beautiful bill has a special little 10-year. Don't touch me for the tech companies. And he's so in bed with the tech companies, and even his friendship with Elon Musk, even though it's supposedly soured. Now, what does Elon Musk do? He makes robots, robots. And what do the tech bros do? They make robots, robots. And they program robots, robots. So it's what we have to ask. For a guy who's hanging out with so much artificiality, so much non-human rah-rah, is Donald Trump the real Donald Trump? Has he been replaced? Is this Donald Trump? They also have robots that are synthetic human tissue in them. And they have robots that look and act exactly like us, even though we see these $18,000 ones and black and white ones, 6 feet tall, and they look like, hell on wheels or hell on bikes. Now, we're not going to get the high fidelity ones. We even have computers that are run with, they have brainioids, they call them. They are biohumans, bodyoids. That's what they call them, bodyoids. They are humans developed in laboratories. You've heard of that. So why wouldn't it be convenient to have a president of a country, a leader of a country, making a more agreeable do this, do that, and just giving them little tune-ups. And we've all seen state legislators who, in the United States and elsewhere, who have frozen, and they have glitches. Their eyeballs go, revert back. They stand without blinking their eyes for an inhuman amount of time. So let's just see now. Are we seeing the real Donald Trump, or are we seeing a fake? The first card we pull is Four of Swords. The Four of Swords. This doesn't tell me anything. The Four of Swords. A time card. A time card for months, for days, for hours, or the fourth version of Donald Trump. And then here we have the Knight of Swords. Now you have to say that this is something that is possible. This is something that is in the conversation. We can always fine tune the real one, keeping the real Donald Trump on ice, or keeping versions of Donald Trump. And another timing card. We have two timing cards. We have the Hangman, and we have the Four of Swords with the Knight of Swords. Maybe they're working on it. They're working on a version that will stay longer. Is this something that they're thinking about doing? A fake Donald Trump, fake, would give us more power, because they would be programmed. If it was a fake Donald Trump, he would do. Many said Biden was fake, and he did have doubles. And then here we have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Shopping around. Maybe there's 7 versions of Donald Trump. Maybe there are many versions. This could be the cloning process. Can you just imagine a laboratory of which there were different versions in glass containers of Donald Trump? And they just pull them out back and forth, and resuscitate or regrow. There's med beds they talk about, like giving you a new organ. Donald Trump could be put on ice or in some kind of medical facility, and they have copies of him doing their thing, doing the bidding. Yes, Ukraine gets more bombs. Yes, Russia should be bombed. Yes. They have a lot of capabilities. There are things going on that humans citizens are not inferred about. They're not discussed. And there's energy. I would say there's some energy involved in making Donald Trump clones, making Donald Trump's his schedule a little easier. Being a president is very taxing on the body. Will Donald Trump last 3.5 more years at the rate he's going now? I would say this is something, a technique, even an actor with body padding and a rubber mask is also utilized. You don't honestly think that any one particular president is there 100% of the time. Why? When they can have stand ins, sidemen, actors. It's a business, it's not just one position. Donald Trump is not one person, he is an administration. He is he is a network. And another timing card, we have the Four of Cups. Either this is a decision that can't be made now, is the real or the fake Donald Trump. But it seems as though they're giving a lot of energy into lightening up his schedule. Or this is something that's not firm yet. This is something that's being thought about. I think that they do have actors who play his part. There's someone who's not quite as tall and not quite as old as he is who plays Donald Trump. We've seen it. If you take all the photographs and align them with a 70, 80-year-old man, I think he's 79. He looks more like he's like 60 something, this other Donald Trump they use. Donald Trump is looking not well. He is not looking well. He's looking worn out, pale. His eyes are saggy. He's looking tired, very tired. And this is something, if he's to go 3.5 more years, we have too many timing cards, a lot of energy. The Four of Cups. We have the two fours, the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups. It's taking a lot out of him. It's taking too much out of him. He's having doubles. We can conclude right now he's having doubles. But we're also talking about his agenda. He's trying too hard to cover his tracks with calling people names, insinuating certain things that have happened. Which, I mean, yes, there's coups that happen. Usually in banana republics, these things are broadcasted. However, when it happens in our own country, a little more decorum is added. Let's not think that the man, the symbol, is one. It's a business. Donald Trump is a corporation. He's a corporation. He's our American president, and he is a corporate person. In a corporation, there's many tiers of many facets of deliverance, of duties. The same thing with the spokesman. This country could not take right now. And then we have another four, the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, and the Four of Swords. What does that tell you about the fours? The fours are a psychological state of meanness, not mean, but me, a psychological state of awareness. He is over, almost, you could almost say, so we do know that the four of Pentacles is the arrogance of keeping up appearances, the arrogance of like being in front of your face. Certain qualities, it's almost as though that the Four of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles, that there is a substance issue, a substance. There's too much around the peripheral self of Donald Trump, not the inward feeling. Too much name calling, too much blasting from a foghorn. The real energy, the real energy is something that is it as superficial as it is being delivered. The Four of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles. We're getting actions but not substance. We're not getting, I don't feel a substance in this reading. A substance. I feel a lot of tangled threads. I feel a lot of who, what does this man say? And then this sense of timing, like they're working on something before they can make an announcement. And they're working on what? Perfecting the image of Donald Trump? There's too much of a legend, and there's too little of a legend. A legend in terms of when you look at a map, you can judge the distance, you can judge the areas, how many cities, how many this. But we're getting a lot of like, a lot of air. A lot of air. And what should we have but the the Knight of Swords? The Knight of Swords is all about a lot of wind energy, a lot of breath, storms. But are we getting what we need? Are we getting truth? The Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is a scatteredness. The Seven of Cups is trying to be too many things and being nothing. Trying to please everybody and making no one really happy. Too many open windows, too many open doors. Let's try a pull on this Seven of Cups. Now, this Seven of Cups, now we already can see there's a timing element here. And there's also a state of vacuum. There's a state of a superficial state. There's a state of waiting, and there's a time, and there's a wait, and there's a vacuousness. And there's also all these things, like the Seven of Cups, things that don't add up, things that are all over the place. All right, let's just see about this Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups, Mystic Moon listeners, is Donald Trump Seven of Cups. What does that tell us? I'm going to take this one, the Seven of Cups. We have the moon reflecting. In other words, it's almost as though this speech was written out, the image was written out, which it is. There are writers that write for the presidents. And we have the Six of Pentacles. Inconclusive. The Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles. It's as though the corporation is speaking out, not sure exactly which way to sway the people to their side while getting their agenda. Donald Trump was elected to be a pacifier, to say one thing, but while doing another thing. It's almost as though the Six of Pentacles. is to keep people in a state of mystery, saying the American way. Have we had America first yet? No. We've had every other country, Israel, Ukraine, other countries. And also the tariffs. Is this making America first? It's costing us, the taxpayers, the population, more to eat. How much does it cost to feed your family today? How much will it cost next 6 months from now at this rate? These are the questions the American people want to know. And of course, the Epstein files. Nothing so called we are getting. They have many cups to fill, but they do not know which image Donald Trump is going to be known for. There. So I would say that we always see is the real Donald Trump vacillating person who's unsure about what to do, or is the real Donald Trump? There is no real Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a celebrity, essentially, a real estate celebrity who can be anything you want him to be. Is he that type of person? Would the real Donald Trump, if there was a real Donald Trump, does Donald Trump know who is the real? Some people, just because you have a certain age does not mean you know your real self. Unlimited power appears to be egotistical, arrogant. Does he have our nation's interest or some other nation's interest? These are all the different types of Donald Trumps that we have been conflicted with. Conflicted. Many people are disillusioned. We thought he was a family man, but yet we hear about his other activities. And if he was a family man, wouldn't he take care of his family, the American people, first? Instead of other countries? Would he take care of Philadelphia? Would he take care of New York? Would he stop calling people names? Will he try to be a unifier? These are the things. These are the many things that put a sense of non-reality on. Makes the people wonder, what happened to the real Donald Trump? Was he replaced? A question we can't find the exact answer because they're trying so hard with so many different viewpoints. Was he just tricking us all along? Donald Trump, does a person at a certain age, there's too many variables, there's too many different sides. A poor person is a poor person, a rich person is a rich person. If a rich person didn't have any friends, if a rich person had too many friends, what does that say? What does that do? Does that influence? Or does a person have stability among their character? What is the character of Donald J. Trump? Is it one to lead the people to despair over double talk, over taking leadership? Are we going to impeach people and corruption? We already know the corruption is intense. Is Donald Trump real? Is he fake? I would say that sometimes he's not the real. The real Donald Trump is not visible all the time. And we have so many timing cards. I would take these timing cards as when they throw in an actor or somebody else, a robot, something else in lieu of the real Donald Trump, because there's too many timing cards and there's too many choices. There's too many ways. A robot, actor, CGI, computer generated, things like that. There's too many deep fakes. There's too many things going on. It's not a good thing. I don't see any yes or no, but I see a lot of times that Donald J. Trump is not the real Donald J. Trump. Is he dead? I don't know. But right now, I can say for sure that in terms of them of talking and communicating with the public, they're using actors and also digital means. And it could also be, I'm not ruling out, since he's so high tech bros, that just to, why wouldn't they have a robot Donald Trump? Why would they not have? The message is yes, take a good look when someone's speaking to you, when our leader is speaking, the American leader is speaking, and what word choices, how he moves his mouth. Robots do not have all that flexibility. Some people don't have flexibility at all either. It's hard to believe that in an office of President of the United States, or Germany, or France, or elsewhere, they would not have doubles. They would not have mechanical dolls of themselves as well. Mechanical robots. It's naive to think that they do not have that. It's naive. And the message is keep the machine going. There's a lot of energy. They can't relax. Keep an open mind and take a good look and start seeing what you're looking at. And to ask yourself, is this the real Donald Trump today that I'm hearing, listening to? So I would say, take heed of what everything you see. Look at the shadows, look at the mouth movements, see if you can observe glitches. It's interesting, isn't it? Like, why would they not use every single tool available to keep power at bay? If you have any comments, do you think Donald Trump is the real one 100% of the time or 0% of the time? What do you think? What do you think out there? Do you think Donald J. Trump is a real person? Or is he a corporate fixture? Is he an entity? Some people take him as a demigod. Some people take him as a scoundrel. I'm not talking about your opinion of him. I'm talking about his physical presence. Is he real or is he not real 100 or 0% of the time? And that is the crux of it. Isn't it? And I say that he is being utilized in different forms. Actors, CGI, robots. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. And listen to what he's saying. The substance. What it seems as though too the machine. There's too many things that 180 have happened. 180, a complete flip in such a short amount of time, which leads many to speculate that the Donald Trump on the campaign is not on the campaign trail is not the same Donald Trump in the White House. It's only been 6 months. And maybe he was given swollen legs, ankles, because one of his doubles had swollen legs or ankles. Or maybe that was to humanize a mechanical doll that's been put out in front of you. We do have wax figures of famous people quite realistically. Why wouldn't we have robot anatomics? What's that word? Anatomics? Well, you get what I mean. Mechanical dolls. Quite realistically. Quite realistic. Quite realistic. All right, until the next time, I'm going to we just sat down all geared up. So let's just take off our psychic things, our helmets, our seatbelts, and let's just like really relax and think about this critically. Think about the time span, the change of tune for many, many important decisions, and the promises that have been broken. Many things have been broken. There's a list. And then, of course, realize that our country's been dragging ever since lockdown, really bad. Ever since we were locked up in our houses for 2.5 years, all sorts of shenanigans went by. And of course, not to say that prior to that, things haven't happened either, but they're getting more and more and more and more extreme. If we could be locked up in our houses, our homes, for coughing, a respiratory cough, what else can we be? No. What else can we be lulled into receiving, doing, feeling? A lot more, obviously. A lot more. And that is the message right now. Let's do some critical thinking about substance and quality. And is this who it says it is? Are we looking? Just take a good look. Take a good look, Mystic Moon listeners, and see what you come to kind of decision. Give me your comments on this. Do you think it's the real Donald Trump in the White House? Or do you think that he is just or we're being cloned, looking at a clone, looking at a CGI, looking at a robot? And what happened to the real one? We'll do more readings on this as time goes by, but it definitely seems something is definitely happening to the corporation of Donald Trump. You can call it his administration, but he's a corporation. Remember the yellow fringe on the flags next to him. What they need. Until the next time, Mystic Moons is leaving. Have a nice trip in the heavens, in the universe. Speculate, think, feel. Ciao.